What's up guys, Free Nachos here, back again with a kind of a different video I'm doing here on my channel. This time we are doing a review of the Souls-like game Lords of the Fallen. I'm playing here on the PlayStation 5. I just completed about a 45 to 50 hour run, my first time through the game. If you're a Souls-like fan and you enjoy games like Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Sekiro, this game is going to be something that you might want to take a look at. This game, first of all, is beautiful. Just look at the graphical fidelity here on the PlayStation 5. We're running in performance mode, so we're targeting 60 frames per second. This is a very early game area. This is the first kind of bonfire. In this game, they call them vestiges. This is our first vestige that you come upon in the game. It allows you to rest. You can warp to any other vestiges that you found in the world. You can upgrade. You can also access multiplayer through the vestiges as well. And I just wanted to talk about this game because I had a ton of fun with it, and it is not perfect. Okay, it definitely has some rough patches around the edges, but overall I had a blast playing it, and I just wanted to share some of my thoughts with you. So I already mentioned a couple of the pros, first of all being the graphics and the 60 frames per second option, something that you're not really able to get on every single Souls-like. Also, the combat is very fluid. You have swords, you have hammers, you can dual wield dagger type weapons, and you can even go into your hand, your throwing hand, and you can throw items like grenades, throwing knives. You can throw basically bombs that debuff enemies, that apply different status effects. I'm going to go ahead and, so right here I had an item called the Accusing Spirit, which basically hits them. They take more damage for a brief time after you hit them with this item. This is just a heavy damage hammer that you can throw. But there's also crossbows in this game. There are spell catalysts. So here I have an Inferno catalyst. So I can, first of all, let's go ahead and suck this guy's parasite out. But we have catalyst, so we can go ahead and use magic, burn him up. And there's also things that you can do with the bow. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bow on and show you that. I can't actually use it because I respect my character, but I had an assassin's bow, and there's all types of different arrows that you can use. So that is definitely one of the pluses in this game, is the variety of combat, allowing you to create so many different types of characters, and then also the flexibility that you have truly to make your game one of a kind. I feel like a lot of people do kind of strength and holy builds, which is kind of like what the game, that's like the stock build that the game wants you to do, but I went kind of a dexterity. In this game they call it agility. I went kind of a quality build where I did dex, strength, endurance, and vitality. Didn't really focus much into the holy damage or the inferno, but I respect my character. And as you can see now, we are in what is called the Umbral Realm. This is a realm that you can go in and out of pretty much throughout the game. You'll be doing it to solve puzzles, to unlock secrets in new areas, and you can also use it as a farming location because enemies will spawn the longer you are in Umbral, and you get more and more currency to upgrade your character the longer you are in Umbral. There's also these really cool memories that you can access that are only seeable in Umbral. So I'll go back here to the previous area, and there's like a little area where we can pull up a memory, and it really helps build the lore of the world. Now I will say the story is kind of on par with a typical Souls-like. It's very obscure. You're not going to really understand a lot of it as you go through, only until maybe even after you finish the game will you start to understand more of it. So this is a late game boss fighting another lamp bearer. So yes, the Umbral Realm is a thing. It's kind of the gimmick of this game, but I find that it does add value to the game experience. So that is super fun. As I said, the world itself is very intricate and fun to explore. The enemy variety is good, I would say. You're always encountering new enemies or new variants of enemy types. And the bosses as well are all very different. And you have to change up your approach when you fight many of the different bosses in this game. I will say one of the cons of the game is that the bosses, in my mind, are a bit too easy in some spots. Of course, any game that you play, the higher your level is, you can basically make all of the bosses just a laughingstock if you get your weapon and your level high enough. So that's nothing new in this game. But I will say that some of the bosses, even if you're not super leveled up high, are simply too easy to beat for my liking. So that is definitely one of the cons. I will say they do a lot of adjustments and things as far as on the dev side to just kill this guy here, to make it so that they're listening to the community and they're always making improvements in stability and performance, and in balancing. They balance PvP. So yes, that is all plus things. So, as I discussed earlier, the Umbral gimmick, you raise this up and it shows you secrets and things. So I will show you just a quick example of something that is kind of a secret that you would find if you were to play this game. So just go ahead in here. Kill one of these enemies. But yes, as I said, the enemy variety is very good. You're constantly facing challenges. This game definitely can be brutal if you don't know what you're doing. But by the end of it, you definitely feel very powerful. So I'm going to show you a really cool mechanic with the Umbral lamp here, where you can basically grab onto their soul, yank it out, and do damage to them, and they're completely helpless to stop you. Go ahead and heal. You can go in here, hit them. There is also a stagger mechanic, which I would like to show you. But I might kill this guy before the stagger kicks in. But there is a stagger mechanic. Anytime you block or deflect, you wear down the posture of enemies. This guy has a kind of an umbral parasite, so we need to bring it out of him before we can effectively kill him. So there are definitely a lot of systems at play here that add a lot of depth and variety to how you play the game. And I think the game really rewards you for going out of your way and exploring, which is nice. The last thing you want to do is spend your time in a really unforgiving world if you're not rewarded for it. So in that moment, I parried him at the exact right time, and I was able to get a visceral attack, which in this game is called a grievous strike. There, I just did a plunging attack, a falling attack down on an enemy. So the variety and the different systems that they have as far as combat are very well thought out and pretty intricate. I will say one of the cons is the auto-lock targeting system. A lot of times it won't target the thing that you want it to target. So it'll kind of hop around. There, I parried him again. Was able to get a heavy blow in. But the targeting, the auto-lock targeting can be very clunky and janky. That's definitely one of the cons. Also, the performance, while it does, if you go for the 60 FPS mode, it hits it most of the time. Not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that little red butterfly situation was. But there are definitely hitches and stutters every once in a while, especially when you go through kind of a very busy area of the map. What is this? I don't know if I know what that is. Let's go ahead and hop into the Umbral Realm. Oh. Wow, I had not found that before. So every time you find one of these memories, you get currency, which basically allows you to buy boss weapons. So that's really sick. I haven't been here in a really long time, since the very beginning of the game, so I'm actually finding things, even now since I've played the game for 50 hours, I'm finding things that I had not found previously, which is really, really cool. There is multiplayer in this game. There is PvP, where you can basically invade or be invaded by other players. That has undergone a ton of balancing since the game first came out. They've done a lot of balancing to the boss difficulty, as I said, which is one of the downsides of the game. I feel the boss difficulty is too easy. But yes, PvP is in this game. It's kind of fun. I've been invaded like 4 times, and I've killed them like twice. So it definitely can be good, definitely can be bad, especially when people, in any PvP type situation, they spam, different spells and different magic instead of, fighting you hand to hand. Another downside of this game is there's not a ton of guidance. There are kind of different zones in the game, and there's different beacons that you have to cleanse, basically, but they don't really tell you how to get there. You just kind of end up wandering around until you go down a path further and further and further until you eventually find a boss and cleanse a beacon. To that end, I will say there are 3 different endings in the game, and 2 of them involve actually not even cleansing the beacons at all. So they basically set it up that you have to cleanse the beacons, but you actually don't have to. So there's lack of a guidance there, and once you cleanse at least 1 beacon, you've shut yourself out of effectively the other 2 endings in the game. So that's something that's less than ideal for sure. So just continuing on, there is a respec mechanic in the game. So if you've gone midway through the game, you find a really cool boss weapon, and you've decided that you would like to respec your character, it isn't unlimited, but there is a item that you can find or an item that you can buy that allows you to reassign your skill points. So basically, that is the summary of this game. The movement is very quick, very twitchy. Of course, there's different weapons. I can go ahead and pull out a heavier weapon so you can see some of the different variety. Like, for example, this is a hammer. Completely different move set. You can do charge attacks. You can do backstep charge attacks, backstep regular attacks, pull up an even heavier other spears, different staffs. Trying to find a really heavy weapon so you can see that. This is kind of a big heavy situation. Of course, all different weapons have different requirements. Like, for example, this hammer requires 31 strength to effectively carry it, and of course it has strength and agility scaling, and underneath that there's like 6 different zeros with the different symbols. Those are the different status effects that a weapon may inflict. Like, for example, this mace here, if you look at it, there's a 60 underneath the strength and agility. This one applies bleed over time. You'll find an amazing variety of weapons, as you can see in my inventory. These are all the weapons that I've found in my 50 hours. Anything from things you can put on your fists, and you can dual wield them, daggers, hammers, swords, long swords, halberds, pole arms, flails, heavy hammers. I mean, anything you can really think of is in this game. So that is really awesome. The variety is really good. Also the armor. I mean, look at all the different armors. We have light, medium, and heavy armors that all have different resistances and weights, and there's all kinds of sets to collect. And so this game definitely provides a lot. It asks a lot of the player, but it definitely provides a lot in return if you take time to learn the different systems that the developers have put in place for you. So overall, I would recommend, if you are a Souls-like fan, and if you need something that's not going to take up a month of your life, but something that you could probably spend a good 2 weeks through 3 weeks binging because you really need a Souls-like fix, then this is probably going to be the game for you. I'm not sure what the current price point is. I bought this game for $30 on sale, and it has been worth every single penny. I just, like I said, finished the first playthrough of the game. It took me about 45 to 50 hours. I still want to do some more grinding and farming to upgrade my stuff all the way to plus 10. But then after that, I'm going to probably do New Game Plus. And the developers have added a New Game Plus, and they've also promised that they're going to add randomization in New Game Plus. So basically you can get re-rolls of enemies and bosses and probably find different gear and different items and things like that. So anyway, guys, my name is Free Nachos. Thanks for joining this Lords of the Fallen review here on my channel. And if you are interested in this game more, I have an entire series where I do not provide any commentary. It's just strictly gameplay, where I'm off mic. I have that complete playlist on my channel as well. Just go on over to my channel page and search for Lords of the Fallen. So anyway, guys, my name is Free Nachos. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.